Two Spokane teens charged in the murder of Shorty Belton were back in court today for the first time in almost half a year. Keenan Adams Kennard and Demetrius Glenn are awaiting trial on first-degree murder and robbery charges in the strong arm holdup and fatal beating inside the 88-year-old's car back in August of 2013. In a story you'll see only on WWII, our Jeff Humphrey joins us live from juvenile court with new developments in this case, including a big bond reduction for one of those defendants. Jeff?
And Nadine, this is not a case of the court going soft on one of these young suspected killers and making it easier for him to walk out of the juvenile detention center. Instead, Judge Annette Please simply leveled the playing field as these two young defendants get close to going to trial, which is now scheduled to get underway in just 2 months. There was extra tight security in juvenile court this morning ever since police heard rumors the area nations had put out a $10,000 bounty on these teens' heads. Sheriff's deputies haven't taken any chances with her safety. The community is still outraged that Shorty Belton managed to survive World War II battles only to be beaten to death during a strong-armed robbery.
Shorty was a very frail, small, old man that, I mean, he couldn't really hurt nobody. And it was just, it was really a tragedy that they decided to pick on a guy like him.
When Demetrius Glenn heard police were looking for him in connection to Belton's murder, he turned himself in and was held in lieu of a $1 million bond. It's the amount usually set for suspected killers here in Spokane. But detectives had to track down Adams Kennard, and after his arrest, Adams Kennard's bond hit a record-setting $3 million.
Given what I was able to investigate in terms of bonds for similar type cases in the last several years, nobody's had a bond anywhere near this.
Derek Reed also pointed out that Adams Kennard's bond is set 3 times as high as his co-defendants. Even the deputy prosecutor saw the obvious inequity.
I've never seen a bond this high in a case of this nature, but I do believe that Mr. Kennard's that a significant bond needs to be in place. Mr. Kennard's charged with an offense that could give him life in prison. He's at risk of flight.
Judge Annette Please agreed Adams Kennard is both a flight risk and a risk to the community's safety, but agreed to scale back the bond. And Nadine, even with that reduced bond in place, Adams Kennard's family will still have to raise $1 million worth of collateral and then spend a non-refundable $100,000 with a bonding company in order to win his release. It seems like that's something not likely to happen.
That's a lot of money to come up with, Jeff. And today, the judge also ordered the release of some investigative files in the case?
It's a public records request that we put in back in August. There's been a lot of back and forth about what is releasable that would still allow these defendants to have a fair trial. Today, she ordered the release of some redacted reports, and we understand they include the report, the calls to 911, as well as what an officer observed Shorty Belton doing in the last moments that he was alive. We'll have that story coming up for you tonight, WWII 4 at 6.